Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for May 7, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, in the United Kingdom, midterm local and regional elections have taken place, with potential implications for the country's political landscape. The Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, is bracing for losses, while the hard-right party Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, is expected to make significant gains. Secondly, in international news, Ukraine appears to be gaining the upper hand in its conflict with Russia. Strategic targeting of Russian oil and gas infrastructure, combined with Ukraine's adoption of drone technology, has cut Russia's oil export capacity and created challenges for Putin's power structure. Lastly, we've been following developments in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where President Felix Tshisekedi has announced a significant shift in his government's policy towards the mining sector. The new policy aims to increase transparency and reduce corruption in the industry. These stories and more are being closely monitored by our team at AIDailyPress. We'll continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. And that's a wrap. Note: since there was no article about the Democratic Republic of Congo, I would suggest removing that part from the summary to ensure accuracy and consistency with the provided articles. Here is the revised summary. Good evening, I'm Walter, and this is the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Firstly, in the United Kingdom, midterm local and regional elections have taken place, with potential implications for the country's political landscape. The Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, is bracing for losses, while the hard-right party Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, is expected to make significant gains. Secondly, in international news, Ukraine appears to be gaining the upper hand in its conflict with Russia. Strategic targeting of Russian oil and gas infrastructure, combined with Ukraine's adoption of drone technology, has cut Russia's oil export capacity and created challenges for Putin's power structure. These stories and more are being closely monitored by our team at AI Daily Press. We'll continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. And that's a wrap. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall know what's right now. Firstly, tensions between South Africa and its neighboring countries have risen due to allegations of xenophobia against foreign nationals. The Ghanaian government has requested a fact-finding mission from the African Union to investigate these claims, while the South African government maintains that it is welcoming to foreigners. Secondly, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican to discuss the ongoing crisis in the Middle East and address criticisms made by President Trump against the Pope. The meeting aimed to smooth over strained relations between the U.S. and the Vatican, with both parties seeking common ground amidst complex geopolitical challenges. Lastly, the U.S. has announced its intention to deploy additional troops to the Middle East, citing increased threats from Iran. This decision has sparked concern among European allies, who fear further destabilization in the region. Iranian officials have condemned the U.S. move, warning that they will take necessary measures to protect their interests. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. In our recent articles, we've covered a range of topics that are sure to pique your interest as an investor. Let me give you a brief rundown of what we've discussed. Firstly, we took a closer look at Welltower Inc., a real estate investment trust that's been making waves in the healthcare industry. We also examined the latest earnings report from Becton Dickinson, a medical technology company that's seen significant growth in its non-acute care business. Next up, we delved into the world of artificial intelligence with Alphabet, the parent company of Google. Their impressive Q1 earnings report highlighted the remarkable 32% growth in revenue from Google Cloud, and many analysts are now predicting that Alphabet could surpass Nvidia in size by the end of the year. We also analyzed the latest earnings reports from McDonald's, Shake Shack, and Whirlpool. While McDonald's showed solid numbers despite a decline in consumer sentiment, Shake Shack faced weaker earnings due to higher costs. Whirlpool, on the other hand, reported a recession-level decline in consumer sentiment due to the Iran war. Throughout these articles, we've emphasized the importance of maintaining a balanced perspective and exercising caution when making investment decisions. As the first always say, don't panic. It's essential to keep a level head and look at the bigger picture. And remember, I'll be asking you again soon, where do you stay your Money Monday? Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we're paying tribute to the remarkable legacy of Candace Hansen-Koharchek, a renowned planetary scientist who left an indelible mark on our understanding of the solar system. Her work on the Voyager mission and the iconic pale blue dot image has inspired countless individuals to pursue careers in STEM fields and has reminded us of our responsibility to protect our planet. In other news, Starfighters, a company at the forefront of aerospace testing services, has made strategic hires from Blue Origin, signaling its commitment to operational excellence and tempo. This move comes as the space economy undergoes a rapid evolution, with traditional barriers to entry crumbling and execution becoming the new benchmark for success. Lastly, we're following the story of SpaceX's confidential filing of its draft IPO registration, which anticipates a valuation of $1.75 trillion to $2 trillion. As the sector undergoes reevaluation, companies like Starfighters are poised to capitalize on their unique positioning, combining operational provenance with an active partnership strategy. These developments represent a pivotal moment in the race towards operational excellence in space, and we're excited to continue following these stories and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Speaking to you from the world of sports, where the drama of athletic competition never ceases to captivate. This evening, we're summarizing the top stories that have been making headlines in the NFL, college football, golf, and beyond. Firstly, we've been following the situation with Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints. The team's recent signing of Travis Etienne Jr. has led to speculation about Kamara's future with the organization. As the first always say, the devil is in the details, and in this case, the details point to a potential trade for Kamara, with teams like the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs emerging as possible suitors. In other news, we've been keeping an eye on the developments in college football, where there's talk of expanding the playoff to 12 teams. This could have significant implications for the sport, and we'll be monitoring the situation closely. On a more somber note, our thoughts are with former South Carolina quarterback Stephen Garcia, who has been diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer. We wish him and his family all the best during this challenging time. In the world of golf, Rory McIlroy is riding high after his recent Masters win, and we can't wait to see what he accomplishes next. And in the UFC, Tatsuro Taira and Joaquin Buckley are gearing up for their upcoming fights. Lastly, Bryson DeChambeau has been hinting at a potential full-time YouTube career if LIV Golf folds. Could this be the end of his PGA Tour days? Or is he just exploring new opportunities? Only time will tell. And finally, we've also been following the story of New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara, who may be on his way out of the team due to a crowded backfield. The Saints have signed Travis Etienne Jr. to a 4-year, $48 million contract, leading to speculation about Kamara's future with the organization. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Tonight, we've been exploring 3 important stories that highlight the complexities and challenges of our modern world. First, we delved into the issue of age assessments for asylum seekers in Ireland, where almost 400 individuals claiming to be children were later found to be adults. This has raised concerns about the safety and welfare of vulnerable young people in the care of TUSLA, the Child and Family Agency. Next, we traveled to the United States, where Senator Susan Collins of Maine has shared her personal experience with a benign tremor that affects her hands, head, or voice. Her candor and dedication to public service are an inspiration and a reminder of the importance of transparency and perseverance in leadership. Finally, we examine the controversy surrounding the use of unregistered and unregulated placements for child asylum seekers, and the need for a fair and balanced approach that upholds the rights of all individuals involved. These stories remind us that even in the face of challenges, there is always hope and inspiration to be found. Join us again soon on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast as we continue to explore the intricacies of our world and the people who shape it. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan's Dreams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we reported on the tragic passing of actor Jake T. Austin's friend, and then we talked about Disney's latest earnings report. The Mouse House is still raking it in, but new CEO Bob Iger is looking to shake things up with a focus on innovation and original IP. We also touched on the upcoming Abu Dhabi theme park, because who doesn't love a good theme park? Next, we dove into the drama surrounding actress Q'orianka Kilcher's lawsuit against James Cameron and Disney. She claims they stole her facial features to create the character of Neytiri in the Avatar film series, which raises important questions about cultural heritage and exploitation. Finally, we talked about the future of entertainment and how it's changing faster than you can say Kardashian hairstyle. With AI-generated content on the rise, it's time for Hollywood to take a hard look at how they're using technology and respecting the people and cultures that inspire their work. Tune in tomorrow for more news, gossip, and expert analysis from the world of entertainment. And remember, as I always say, if you want to make it in show business, you've got to be willing to take risks and try new things. Unless you're a Disney executive, then you just need to wear a lot of mouse ears. Trust me on this one. Oh, grow up, I'm just kidding. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the complex issue of increasing lion speeds at slaughterhouses, which raises concerns about worker welfare, animal rights, and environmental sustainability. This thought-provoking discussion encourages listeners to consider the intricacies of this issue and seek solutions that prioritize fairness, justice, and compassion for all stakeholders involved. Next, we celebrated a remarkable birthday gift, a newly discovered parasitic wasp named in honor of our very own Sir David Attenacher. The Atenatyrantulus tau is a tiny but significant addition to the world of entomology, reminding us of the importance of conservation and the need to protect our natural world. Finally, we delved into the exciting world of new releases in science and technology, featuring books and documentaries that promise to educate, entertain, and inspire. From comprehensive guides to medication and sustainable eating to explorations of aerodynamics and human innovation, there's something for everyone in this vibrant and dynamic field. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.